whoa. One Piece chapter 649. So, wow. Talk about out of left field. Out of left field. And like right when I'm saying I'm going to eat my words about talking so much shit on Nico Robin, this bitch becomes useful. If you can't tell, I don't like this shit. Because I like trolling you guys about Nico Robin. And now Oda goes and does this shit to me. Oh my god. So let's just go right to this chapter. Because she pulls the king to the side. Neptune's just thinking like, oh shit, damn. She looking good, man. Yeah. She looking real good. About to go balls deep in this bitch. Hey. Oda Hime might be dead, but I ain't gonna betray her memory. And she just cuts him off. She's like, it's not even about that. You know, somewhere, like, Neptune was thinking about going balls deep, and when she did that, he had to pump the brakes for a second. It was like, oh, fuck. I ain't getting no action. And she says, so I read the poneglyph, and Nico Robin, man, that's respect right there. She got right to it. Didn't pull any punches. He's like, wait, you can read that? And it's like, the way he said it, if I'm not mistaken, it was bolded. He said, you can, in bolded, read. So again, that just shows you like, yo, Robin's pretty damn useful. Robin's pretty useful. I mean, again, and she says like, I'm a survivor of O'Hara. And that's when she says, who is Joy Boy? What's the connection with this? And we find out that Joy Boy was a person. So that much was obvious, but it goes a bit further. He lived during the Void period, and she breaks down the math, and she's like, oh, I think she said, what, 800 years ago? And she says, so at least 800 years ago. And right here, this is what grabbed my attention. Neptune says that message was meant for the mermaid princess on the island at the time. It was an apology for breaking the promise made with Fishman Island. The contents of that promise are not clear, but someone will come along to fill that promise in Joy Boy's stead, at least according to the royal legend. So we believe that in that day and uphold our promise by protecting Noah through the generations, which explains why they didn't want to destroy the ship, why the Neptunians saved the damn ship. And that was an observation people made. For it is not until the day the promise comes about that Noah will fulfill its actual purpose. I still want Luffy to destroy that damn thing, but looks like I got it wrong. I thought Noah represented, you know, some. So I got that wrong. So that's on me right there. Again, that's what I get. You know, that's why you don't make predictions when you're first reading some shit. So anyway, after everything ended above the island, I heard Noah was taken to the force of the sea by Neptunians. If Joy Boy was meant to use Noah, could he have had the power to control Neptunians? Fair point by Nico Robin. She's kind of connecting the dots, and that shows that scholars, you know, mentality, because you don't just take the answer given to you. You always read in between the lines, which, again, One Piece, that's what I like doing too. You know, you read in between the lines, and you see the small stuff that upon first glance you say, it doesn't make sense to connect, but then you start looking in the confines of the actual story, or in this case, in the actual poneglyphs that she's reading, and she's looking for small details that can connect. Because again, a lot of times details get hidden in plain sight. You have to be able to decipher through them, and that's when she gets corrected. But here's the bombshell, and this is what just really fucked me up, right? She says, 2 years ago, I read a poneglyph on an island in the sky that contained the location of an ancient weapon, and that location was here. And I was like, oh, wait, I remember that. Because, like, that was Sky Island was after Alabasta, and Crocodile was saying something about the Pluton, and I think it was Crocodile saying something about the Pluton, but basically, Nico Robin, when she was first introduced, the poneglyphs, like, one of the things that got thrown out there was that it could be an ancient weapon. And here's the thing. She says, could the mermaid princess who lived in that time of Joy Boy have another name? A name that Princess Shirahoshi, who has the same power, will now inherit as her own. Her other name is, in fact, and right here, the face. The face that Neptune is making when he closes his eyes. He knows it. He knows it. And so it goes into what I was saying before. Oda's setting something big up with this shit. Because, like, the pain on his face and the way that his eyeballs are just shaded in. Like, if you go to chapter 649, I'm not going to show the panel here because, you know, copyright or whatnot. But if you go to chapter 649, right? And you go to this very last page. Fuck it, I'm showing the page. But if you go to the very last page and you look at old boy right there. You look at Neptune. See how that eye is shaded in? Oda did that on purpose. And when you see that shit, that's showing the pain, but that's also foreshadowing. So what's going on here? But she says her other name is, in fact, the ancient weapon Poseidon. And that's the power that was said to be able to destroy the world. So what the fuck was Joy Boy getting ready to do? Was the mermaid princess, was she supposed to be the trump card that turned the tide of war during the last battle? Was it something like that? What was the connection there? What was the connection there? That's going to be interesting. And how this fits in with Luffy is the fact, again, he's the son of a revolutionary. The world government has a hard-on for him. And most importantly, when Luffy went to Annie's lobby, he declared war. I don't think Luffy's fully understood that. But he's declared war on the world government. I think he understands the fact that he's probably crossed a line that he can't come back from. But he's declared war on the world government. And Oda is not doing this by mistake by having someone like Jinbe, who's really powerful, has experience with the world government, say, I have stuff I have to take care of here, but once I get finished, if you still feel that way about me, I will gladly join your crew. So Luffy essentially has an honorary straw hat in regards when it comes to Jinbe. So just with that in itself, that lets you know Luffy is about to get into some big shit. He didn't have the power when he was on Marineford, but we might be seeing father and son fighting side by side. Because again, I'm doubling down on this. That VV paper is going to lead them to Dragon. That's going to lead there. Dragon and Lola's mom, like that shit's going in there. Because again, like that is too close together where they get that paper, and they go to the Sayabody, and then they get split up, and then Nico Robin meets Dragon, and they use VV paper to kind of come in together. So what if Luffy, when he comes to his father, has Shirahoshi to back him up? What if you have the celestial dragons who decide not to honor that piece of paper that Queen Orihime did God knows what in order to get the paper for? And again, I had a dark theory. I'm sticking by it because again, these dudes are fucking scumbags. But what's to say Luffy doesn't say fuck it and just goes all the way in with his father? Because at the end of the day, that might help him in his quest to be king of the pirates, because he can't run away from who he is. And I feel like that's something that when you look at One Piece and you look at the different arcs where Luffy has run into royalty and each of the islands he's gone to, one of the things that's been hammered home in a very subtle way is at the end of the day, you are who you are. You can't run from your connections. Sooner or later, it comes back up to bite you in the ass. And when that happens, you have two choices. You either run from it and dread it, or you man up, you face it, you face destiny in the face, and you change it. And I think the best example of this is obviously Nami with Arlong Park, when I know you guys like, oh fuck, this dude and this Nami shit, man. Like, sit your thirsty ass down, nigga. Like, calm down for a second. Hear me out. Because you see it with each of the Straw Hats. They all have that moment, Zoro being the withstanding one, because Kuina, if she's Tashigi, then we'll see that. But all the Straw Hats, they have that moment where they got to look their deepest corners in the face. With Usopp and Kaya, the whole thing with Captain Kuro, he had to look that in. He had to look that in right there. When you look at Chopper with this whole thing is accepting people. The whole storyline with Dr. Hero Look and Dr. Kureha. I think it's Kureha. I kept calling her Witch Doctor. But the whole thing with that is Chopper had to understand that, like, hey, you got good humans, you got bad humans, but I can't let how I've been treated in the past change me. I've got to get over this. I've got to stare this in the face. Then you got the whole thing with Sanji, where Zeph essentially saved his life. Zeph ate his own foot for Sanji. Zeph was home for Sanji, and yet Sanji had to leave Zeph in order to embark on his journey with Luffy. I mean, you just see it so much. And with Luffy, you kind of saw it with this flashback after Marineford, where you got the information about his brother, what's the kid's name? I'm forgetting the brother's name because it wasn't that long ago too, man. You have Ace, and then you have the other boy. I can't remember his name. It was the one that was crying and everything. Shit. Anyway, you got Luffy, you got his brother, and you got Ace, and old boy ends up getting his shit blown up because of the celestial dragons and everything. But Luffy never had that moment where he had to face anything. He had to face who he was. Like, they were trying to kill Ace, but it was because Ace was the son of Roger. Now you got Luffy, the son of Dragon. That's got to come to roost at some point. So I like that. I like that. Now, to back up further, I like what Neptune did in this chapter. One of the things Neptune did was he said, hey, the lower part of Fishman Island, the Fishman District, we're cutting that off. You guys, you wanna repent? You say you didn't know anything about what happened to my wife and all this other stuff, that's cool. But in order for you to repent, you got to live here on the surface and see these people that you have your issues with. I'm going to put your strength to good use. You're going to help rebuild this island. You're going to help take it into the next direction. And you're going to be under strict military rule. But you will be assimilated. And they're like, oh, I don't want to live under laws. That's the worst thing you can do. Because with people like that march to beat their own drum, you put them in structure. That's the worst thing that you can do for them, because that will break them. Which, in this case, that is a good thing. They do need to be broken in, because in a very subtle way, this king is trying to transition everyone to being on the same page. So I like that a lot. However, I also like the fact that on the lower levels, you got Hody Jones and them just kind of locked up. I thought that was pretty cool, man. But at the same time, it's just like, that's kind of like what happened at Impel Down. Now, you guys got the feeling of what happened on the lower level, like where Luffy had to try and go get Ace from, and that's where he met Jinbe. And so I thought that was kind of interesting. Now, the other thing that I thought was pretty interesting was the fact that, you know, Kraken has to send the big boy that's too big, the pufferfish dude, he has to send his ass out. But when you see the Straw Hats to try to run, I'm thinking, oh shit, they was just like, yeah, hey, we was gonna chill out and, you know, drink, maybe get some food and everything. That's cool. And Nami says, yeah, I just robbed their ass blind. We gotta get out of here. So I thought that's why they were leaving. That wasn't the case. So what actually ended up happening is the Straw Hats, you know, they leave. And when Zoro has this whole, you know, moment with Shirahoshi, you know, Nami's just like, I can't believe you guys. Because Zoro says, hey. Don't be going around throwing that hero word around, okay? Like, don't do that. And the reason why is heroes, when there's a bunch of grog, they share their grog with people. I want to drink all of the grog. And it's just like, that's the same shit Luffy said. It's just like, I don't think that Zoro was there when Luffy made that connection with meat and saying heroes share the meat. I want to eat all the meat. But if, and I might be mistaken on that. If Zoro was there, no, because he was in the palace. So he didn't hear that. So he's just following lead without realizing it. But Nami's just like, I can't believe it, not this shit again. And then that's when you get this moment where Luffy hears, hey, oh, what, there's going to be a feast? fuck that, we're going. And when you see all the Straw Hats kind of partying and celebrating, you got Zoro and Frankie, they just living it up, man. And Frankie, man, Frankie's a big boy. Like, he was always kind of stacked anyway. But I was just looking, and it's just like, not only was Frankie a big boy, but I was like, shit, Zoro's pretty ripped himself, man. Because when they both got the drinks up, I'm just watching Zoro's frame, and I'm like, compared to Frankie, he don't look that small. And when you compare him to when you first see him, it's just like, what the fuck kind of plane did Mihawk have this dude on? But, you know, they're drinking and living it up. Sanji, you know, petrified because he sees so many beautiful mermaids. Like, whatever, right? Whatever. I mean, that's pretty cool just to see that. And it's, you know, customary in a way, because like the Straw Hats, that's the thing. They party, they drink, they live it up. You know, it's what's the opening two? Because I'm still way behind trying to watch the anime, yo. Like, I'm still like in Alabasta. I like the opening that we got. It's like, you gotta follow your dreams no matter how hard they seem. Like, I like that intro. I like that a lot. I actually like it a little better than opening one. But just that vibe you get from that music, that's like how I was getting this. You know, when I was reading this. Because it's just so beautiful. Because the party scenes are just so full of life. They're so full of life. And you just see each of the Straw Hats during that moment, man. Like, you see Nami and Brooke, they're just appreciating the music. You know, Sanji's appreciating the women. Frankie and Zoro, they're appreciating the liquor. Like, you just see their personalities during that point, man. But what I love about that is they're all being brought together. They're all being brought together, which is why this bombshell is so big. And it's what I've always told you guys. Oda always hits you with the heavy hand, and then he hits you with the soft hand, the light-hearted stuff, and the party and all that stuff, and all of a sudden it's just like, bam, gotcha, I hit you with something you weren't expecting. I've been building this up, now pull the rug out from underneath you. It never fails, and I can almost predict when he's getting ready to do it. The problem is, the reason I say almost predict is I'll be kind of watching, and I'll be waiting for it, and I'll be caught up in the story, and then all of a sudden I'm like, wait a second, we should be getting something else here. Where's this foot gonna come down at? And that's when Oda just says, hey, look right there. And he brings that foot down when you look over there. Like, it's so much fun when it gets like this. It's so much fun. Like, the best way I can compare this is on a different level, but the best way I can compare this is I'm getting the same feeling when I was reading Naruto Weekly. And it was like every week, like, I know Kishimoto is setting this up, but what's going on here? Oh shit, it's been almost 2 years since we've seen Sasuke. When's Sasuke gonna show back? Fuck. It's getting about that time from the show. Bam, he shows up. Like, it's the same thing. It's like, oh, when's Oda gonna do this? Oda brings the foot down, but he brings down like the Bruce Lee stomp where it's like 2 back to back and you don't even see the second hit. Because I wasn't expecting anything from Skypiea to be brought up. Because when that happens, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, are you serious right now? Like, Oda just came all the way with it. And it's just like, wow. So if that's the thing, then are we getting something from Jaya next? Like, I guess that's the next thing. Or something from Alabasta. You never know when Oda's going to pull something from early in the series. So my chapter question, you guys, this has gone longer than my usual reviews. But as you guys know, the longer the review, the more I enjoyed the fucking chapter. But my chapter question for you guys is, when it comes to this whole thing of Shirahoshi potentially being a weapon, do you think that's going to make her a target in the future? But as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, share. Thank you so much for watching the video, guys. Have an awesome